So I recently was working on I'm working on a project to auto-generate stripe.net. Um, and something I wanted to do as part of that auto generation was go through and remove all of the comments that were in the entities and in some of the service files. Um, and there's a term that's like often thrown around in industry called where people say they've code modded or like made a code mod to the code base, and this is generally just like wide sweeping refactors where they're making major changes across the code base. And so I had never done one of these before. I'd used sed a couple of times, but I wasn't really sure what people were talking about when they said they were doing code mods. And so the first thing that I thought, the naively what you might do is just like open up the file that you're going to edit. So in this case, if we pull up one of the files that I want to remove comments for, here you'll see that like for instance, this is one of the comments I wanted to remove. The reason I'm doing this is because when I auto generate, it's really hard to generate the comments. So I want to just kind of like remove all the comments, auto generate the code, look at the diff and see where the auto generation is failing compared to what's on master. And that's a little easier if I don't have any comments. So you might think, okay, I can just go in and like quickly remove all the comments, but there's hundreds of files. And so that wasn't going to be something that you could do pretty easily. Even with Vim, like I could write some sort of macro or something to quickly go through and make that modification per file. But I really want to like get comfortable with tools to make these wide sweeping changes across the code base. So I found this tool called codemod by Facebook, which is a Python package. Let's see. It's a Python package that you can pip install, and then you can execute it like this. You call codemod -d, you give it a directory and the extensions of the files that you want to change, and then like a starting regular expression and ending regular expression. So I went and tried to use this. So you say codemod -m-d, maybe source stripe.net entities, and then the first argument that you pass is the code that you're going from. So everything that's like starts with // and then replace it with just an empty string. So I try to use this code mod thing, and that's basically just copying the command that they have in the README. But this ends up deleting everything because the match is multi-line, and so I'm not like checking to the end of the line. I'm just checking like everything. But this is kind of cool. It walks you through an interactive prompt to see if you want to accept the change or not. Kind of like when you're doing a git patch that's interactive. So that didn't work exactly. It turns out that this -m is to apply this regular expression multi-line. So if I remove that, then I just get the one line change. So that looks great. I'm just saying like, okay, just remove // with summary. Yes, I want to accept that. Yes, I want to accept that. Yes. Okay, so this looks like it's going well. It's removing the right stuff. So you can say A to accept all changes. So just do capital A and hit enter, and it just quickly runs through and applies all of those changes, removing all of those lines. So then if I look at the diff here, I can see that the comments were removed, but there's still white space, like new line white space. Or not even new line, just like white space at the beginning, because I didn't, as my regular expression didn't match like from the beginning of the line all of the white space. But even if I modify my regular expression to match that in the beginning, where I say like from the start of the line, any white space up to the, well, let's stash that and then run this thing again, and then apply all changes, it will match from the beginning of the line, but because I'm still replacing with empty string, it doesn't actually replace those new lines. So I'm still adding new lines. They don't have the white space at the beginning, but it's not deleting the line. So I decided this probably wasn't going to work, and I wanted to use something else instead. And so that seems like a really good tool, and it would apply really well as long as you don't want to delete lines, or maybe there's another way to do it. I couldn't figure it out quickly. And so the tool that I reached for next was sed, which is a stream editor that you can use to inline edit files. So the first step was to like just kind of mess around with sed to figure out what I wanted it to do. So you can use sed-e to do, you can pass -e a couple different times, and -e is the actual edit that you want to make. And if you use -i, that makes it an inline change, and you can pass an extension for like the temporary files that it will make. If you pass empty string, it won't make temporary files. That's totally cool. So we say like -i empty string, and then -e with the change we want to make. So in this case, we want to do something like find all of the comments, and then do /d to delete the line, and then we pass in the file. So I just wanted to test it out on one file. So we can say like stripe.net, and then entities accounts account.cs. Let's see if that worked. Okay, so the regular expression was unterminated. Maybe this is supposed to be this way. Okay. So then if we check, yeah, so this correctly deleted all of the comments. So that's looking good. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to try applying this to all the files that are in the entities and services directory. So what I started out with was using find dot, and then like maybe looking for the expression that was in the files. And then that didn't work super great. And there was something about the way that the list of files was being printed out that I couldn't pipe it into sed for some reason. So instead I ended up using a grep. So grep-rl with this / to find all of the files that have these 3 lines in stripe.net in either my entities or services directories with the star. So this, you can use these curlies to expand the blob out to include the source directory, stripe.net directory, and then both children entities and services. And then I'm piping that into sed with xargs. So xargs is a way to take the list of files that's printed out from grep here and passing those as the final argument to sed. So now I'm saying xargs sed-i empty string, so it doesn't create temporary files, and then -e, this is the command to make the change. And so when I run that, now it has successfully modified all of these files here to remove the comments from all files. So as part of AutoGen, we'll probably go back and add all of the comments later once we have, which we can get from the spec that I'm using to generate. But initially, when I'm trying to figure out just like the fundamentals for how do you render certain properties on certain classes, it's much easier to just work without the comments. So remove the comments, build an integration branch, and then sort of like auto-generate and compare with the integration branch that doesn't have the comments. So this was kind of helpful, and I wanted to share just in case anyone else is curious about how to do like wide sweeping code mods or changes with sed. So using sed with using grep with sed here was the tool that I think is pretty powerful, and I hope it's useful. All right, see ya.